smokers, folks, this ain't no dang jokers. This is one of those videos, okay? One of those rare videos I ever create that I'm like, okay, this video is gonna be a popular one. This is not just an everyday video, okay? We're talking about my top 3 penny stocks for 2022 and beyond. In this video, I'm gonna get into these 3 stocks. I'm gonna get into the bullish thesis I have for these 3 particular stocks. I'm also gonna do something very different in this video that I don't usually do, but I've seen a lot of people request over time, okay? And for all 3 of these stocks, I'm gonna put a 1-year target in terms of like what I think the stock price is going to go to over the next 1 year, and I'm going to put a 5-year target on these stocks as well, meaning what I think this stock price is going to go to over the next 5 years. And why that's important is it's going to be fun to come back to this video and see, did these stocks underperform? Did they overperform? Did they do better than I expected, worse than I expected? Things like that, okay? And like I said, the 5-year perspective on these stocks is very important because all 5 of these, I view these as long-term investments. Just because it's a penny stock does not mean it doesn't have a great long-term future. And these 3 particular stocks, I think they all have great long-term futures in front of themselves, and I'm going to share that with you in this video. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you do, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I talk about many various stocks. We talk about dividend stocks, growth stocks, and every once in a while, stocks like these here today, penny stocks, all right? Now, first off, I want to just describe to folks what is a penny stock? Because a lot of folks have like, different perspectives and opinions on what the heck a penny stock is, okay? In the past, penny stocks were considered any stocks that traded for less than $1 per share. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, has modified that definition to include all shares trading below $5, all right? The SEC is an independent federal government agency responsible for protecting investors. The penny stocks are usually associated with small companies and trade infrequently, meaning they have the lack of liquidity or ready buyers in the marketplace. As a result, investors may find it difficult to sell the stock since there may not be any buyers at that particular time. Because of the low liquidity, investors might have difficulty finding the price that accurately reflects the market price, okay? And so what that means is essentially, when you invest in a penny stock, you're investing in a more risky asset. You've got to understand that. And when there's less people trading that stock, you can get these price declines that are just vicious, okay? And some of these stocks, actually, I think all 3 of these stocks, we've seen that happen in these stocks, all right? And it's not like an Apple stock, right, where you buy into Apple stock and there's always like a ton of people that want to buy Apple stock, right? A ton of funds, ton of investors. Like there's no lack of people that want to buy Apple stock or Tesla stock or Google or the big companies, right? A penny stock is totally different. So you got to understand it does absolutely come with risk. Due to their lack of liquidity, wide bid and ask spreads or price quotes in small company sizes, penny stocks are generally considered highly speculative. In other words, investors could lose a sizable amount of their investment, right? A penny stock refers to as a company that trades for less than $5 a share. That's all 3 of these stocks here today. Although some penny stocks trade on large exchanges such as the New York Stock Exchange, most penny stocks trade it as like OTC type stocks, okay? While there can be sizable gains in trading penny stocks, there can also be equal risk for losing a significant amount of money in any shorter period of time. So I think that's very important to cover that up front so folks understand the risk of ever getting involved with a penny stock, whether it be any of the stocks I mentioned in this video or whether it just be penny stocks in the future. You got to understand, especially if these stocks go cold, there's just nobody there to buy it, and you're essentially in a situation where you're trying to sell. And also, if you're trying to build a large position, sometimes you can potentially spike the price in some of these stocks. So that's something also very, very important to keep in mind there, okay? My strategy when it comes to me looking at penny stocks, I'm looking for a few different things. I'm looking for a company that's generating revenues. I don't want some like pipe dream company that it's like maybe someday they generate revenue. No, I want companies that are generating substantial revenues, preferably 8 figures or 9 figures of revenue, which is exactly what 2 of these companies already generate 9 figures of revenue, meaning over $100 million. One of these companies generates less than that, but they're on pace to generate 8 figures of revenue. I don't want, it's just like they might make money someday. No, I want revenue generators now, okay? I want management teams that I'm not sketched out by, which when you're dealing with penny stocks, you're going to find a lot of management teams that are very, very questionable. The number 3 thing I'm looking for is I'm looking for like a company that I can see growing into a legit stock, like more than a penny stock long term, right? I want companies that can get to that place over the coming years. If they can't get to that place over the coming years, then I'm not as interested in it, right? I want companies that are going to grow and become, much more than a penny stock and become beast companies in the future. I'm also looking for companies, the 4th pillar here is companies that are in a pretty good capital position. I mean, they got plenty of cash around, and I can say with all four of these companies, they have plenty of cash around, for the foreseeable future. So that's my strategy when it comes to penny stocks. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy this as always, and let's get into this, guys. Okay, the first stock of these three penny stocks up here is Planet 13 Holdings, PLNHF. It's a $3 stock here today. 52-week range is anywhere from 289 to 867 at its very, very peak. Market cap today is $600 million on the. I think this stock has ridiculous upside over the coming years, and it's actually a much safer investment. I think, it's a safer investment than 99.9% of penny stocks out there. The company was founded in 2015, so understand this company is super, super young. They already have over 500 employees. This was as of November. They're in 4 states now, 3 cultivation and production facilities, 3 operating retail locations. They have 5 retail licenses now. They're in 56 plus dispensaries with their products. So the company is not just a superstore play in terms of their big, huge locations. There's also a play on their owned brands, which is like, to me, just as big of an opportunity, if not a bigger opportunity for the company over the long term than just their own stores, okay? They have 55,000 square feet of total cultivation. Market cap, obviously, a lot lower now than it was in the past. $33 million of revenue, 45% revenue growth year over year, $3.5 million of EBITDA in its latest quarter. As far as on the operational side, they have 2 retail locations in Nevada. They have 3 cultivation and production facilities in Nevada, which is the state I live in if you didn't know. In California, they have 1 retail location. It's a superstore in Orange County. They also have licenses in Florida, and literally they could build an unlimited amount of retail locations in Florida, which is quite interesting. How many they build there over time, we'll have to see. I can see them definitely having 5 or 10 locations in Florida long term. They have unlimited cultivation and production locations in Florida as well, which is pretty darn cool. And if you didn't know, a lot of people live in Florida, okay? And then in Illinois, they have 1 location that should be coming in 22. So yeah, nonetheless, when I started investing in this stock, they had 1 retail location. It was the Vegas Superstore, and that was it. And so to see like how much progress this company is making in such a short amount of time, it's nothing short of amazing, to be quite honest. Now, the Vegas Superstore is their crown jewel. This is the thing of beauty. This is the beast. This is the introduction to a lot of people to Planet 13, the experience, and to the brands. They come to Vegas and they say, okay, you want that type of product, right? Where do you go for that type of product in Vegas? You go to the Planet, okay? That's the #1 place you go. If you talk to anybody on the strip, and you ask them, where should I go for this product? Every single person is going to tell you first and foremost, you go to the Planet, okay? And that's somebody that lives in the city. I know that. And so, if you're ever going to want to visit the facility, go in the wintertime. It's a little less busy in the wintertime, it seems at least, but sometimes it can be crazy in the wintertime. Summertime is just nuts. So if you ever want to check out the facility, definitely go in the wintertime, and you'll be wowed. You're like, this is a place you've never seen. I've taken so many people there, people that enjoy that product and people that don't ever use that product, and everybody, all the likes are always amazed by the location. It's a phenomenal location, by the way. You just take the street from the Wynn and Encore straight down, and boom, you're right there. So yeah, that's the introduction. That's an introduction most folks get to the brand. And then as the great thing for the Planet is so many folks that come to Vegas and they travel here, right? As the Planet expands into more cities, people are already going to be familiar with the Planet because they're like, oh, that's that awesome place I went to in Vegas, right? So, that's a phenomenal thing. I think it was ingenious that they built in Vegas first, and then you build out from there, okay? Now, as far as the company's momentum with revenues, they continue to just scale and scale and scale this business. And I don't see that slowing anytime soon. As far as next year, it's going to be a 9-figure revenue year for this company, if not a multi-9-figure revenue year for this company. And so they just continue to build everything, the amount of customers, their brand, their brands, how many people know about it, their revenues, everything like that. And the profitability will start to grow immensely for this company in 23 and beyond. They're going to spend a lot of money in 22 to expand this company with several stores likely opening in the Illinois store. Then you're obviously likely going to have stores opening in Florida, maybe several stores opening in Florida. So that's going to be a bunch of upfront money there. But as those stores are open longer, they become profit machines. The brands start to build out, and it becomes a kind of beautiful self-fulfilling prophecy there, okay? As far as the growing product portfolio for this company, in-house brands made up 20% of Superstore sales in Q3 of 2021. They've increased their cultivation in support of vertical integration of their medicine flower line, which has just been super popular, okay? Super, super popular. Wholesaling, they're in 56 plus dispensaries in Nevada now. They have multiple SKUs across product categories in the top 10 in Nevada now. So, like I said, when it comes to their owned brands, this is as big of an opportunity, if not a bigger long-term opportunity for the company than actually their superstores, which is crazy to even think about. This is the Amazon Web Services of Planet 13 that just a lot of folks don't even see, okay? As far as California, they opened up their superstore this summer, which is, once again, when they open up one of these superstores, it kind of goes through a scaling period over the first 2 years where you open it and then you got to get everybody used to coming there. Everybody, you know, hey, we got this big new superstore open, come check it out. And then more and more folks tell other people, right? Because the word of mouth starts to spread because these locations are epic. It's like something you've never ever seen before. And so more and more people tell each other, and then it just kind of builds and builds and builds. And the next thing you know, it's just the word of mouth so big that the Planet has to do like hardly, like for the Vegas location, like everybody knows about that now. And it's just a thing of beauty, and it's just the word of mouth is crazy. And people go back and they're like, oh yeah, in Vegas, man, you got to go to this place called Planet 13. It's nuts, right? They've vertically integrated through acquisition. They just did a recent acquisition here. Launch and distribute Planet 13's in-house brands throughout California, which is a massive opportunity for this company. And launch home delivery programs surrounding areas. So that's, you know, if you're thinking about building up the local clientele and not just like, you know, tourists that are coming to Orange County, right? You've got to have delivery, you got to have curbside pickup and those sorts of things. And so that's something I've seen them do and execute very well here in Vegas. And I see them doing a very good job. I ordered some Christmas presents for a few people last week. And yeah, the delivery driver, he's like, you know, it's just, we're slammed right now. Like the amount of deliveries we're doing is ridiculous, right? And so imagine a long-term opportunity there, okay? Now, as far as that superstore they have in Orange County that opened up this summer, that's 55,000 square foot facility, which will be comprised of 16,500 square feet of dispensary space with additional space for ancillary stores and experience similar to the Las Vegas Superstore, which the Las Vegas Superstore has more to still open in it, which is crazy to think about. That store, that store is several years old now, but in the Vegas Superstore, there's a high probability they open a lounge and maybe even a club in the Vegas Superstore within the next year or so, okay? And so they were definitely going to want to, you know, have those sorts of experiences at the Orange County store as well long term. So that's just like that. When you think about these superstores they open, remember, it's not like the first year is like that's as good as it gets. It just gets better and better and better as the company executes and more people find out about it. And the sales just start to build on themselves year after year after year as they add more and more to them. And people just, the word of mouth is crazy, okay? 5-year objectives for the Planet. They want to have 8+ superstores in tier 1 markets across the United States. I see that as definitely doable. I can see them even doing 10+, to be honest. Neighborhood stores, which are going to be smaller format stores in many other markets. I mean, they want to get into all these sorts of markets, right? So right now they're in Orange County, they're in Vegas, right? As far as like, you know, 22, they should have the Illinois store open up, right? And they should have at least one, if not several stores open up in Florida. But they also want to have stores in New York, Washington. They want to have stores in Boston, Toronto, Detroit, Minneapolis. They want to have stores in Houston, Dallas, Phoenix, Denver, San Diego, Los Angeles. They could have multiple superstores in the Los Angeles area, in my opinion. San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, Vancouver. I see those as all possibilities over the coming years. It's just about, you know, where they want to go next, okay? And so I think the west side of Arizona would be would make a lot of dang sense there. As far as the management team of this company, remember I talked to you guys about, you know, if you're looking into any company, any stock to invest in, especially penny stocks, you got to be confident in the management team, right? And so these gentlemen that lead this company, there's no doubt, like they have their heads on straight. They know what they're doing. Bob Groesbeck, he used to be the former mayor of Henderson. He's practiced law for 25+ years, which is very important because when you got to understand, when you're dealing with all these different markets and all this regulation and all these laws and things like that, it's pretty darn helpful if you're very, very familiar with law in general, right? I couldn't imagine trying to lead one of these companies if you didn't like know the ins and outs of many different things legally, right? And so, you know, it's just phenomenal that both these gentlemen have a you know, immense amount of knowledge on you know, not just this market, but growing into this market over time. And then Dennis Logan's the CFO of the company, who's you know, been in investment banking for a long, long time. So I've been very impressed by him. Now, as far as the brands here, trendy, you got the Haha brand, which makes gummies and beverages, which I think is just going to be, you know, I see these as potential billion-dollar brands long-term as they build them out. The Medicine brand's just crazy, like how much demand, especially for the flower product there. They've had to buy extra, you know, facilities just to produce that. Dreamland Chocolates is just, you know, all these brands is, you know, to me, this is going to be the, you know, the extra profit center for the company long term. And so I just absolutely love that there. All right. Now, when it comes to Planet, all right, price target time for this one. 1 year price target I have for the Planet is $5.50. 5-year price target I have for the Planet is $30 a share, which would be a 10x. And assuming they don't ever dilute, which you never know if they will or not, but assuming they don't dilute, that would put the company at about a $6 billion market cap in 5 years from now. In my opinion, in this space, there's going to be many different companies in this space that will be multi-billion-dollar type market caps and even $10 billion type market caps in the future. And dare I even say there will be some companies probably that will end up reaching $100 billion type market caps. The Planet, from everything I've seen, and now they got a new acquisition that is set to go through at some point in 22. The way I look at this particular company is it's as well positioned to become a giant in this industry as any other company I've possibly seen out there, between their superstores, between their smaller format stores they'll be able to build out, between the management team of this company, the capital, the ability to raise capital this company has, and then their owned brands and just the overall strategy. It's I don't know of a company that is more well run than this in this industry, and it's going to be fun to watch kind of how this whole story plays out over the coming years. And man, the management team of this company, they're just dang good. I'm just going to be honest, like, you know, of management teams, you're not going to find that many truly great management teams for a $1 billion type market cap or under. This management team knows what they're doing, and when you go to these facilities, you understand they know what they're doing, okay? So yeah, that one's really, really darn exciting. I think it's the most exciting MJ stock, period, in the stock market in terms of becoming that next giant, okay? Alrighty, so that's the first stock up here. Let's get into the second stock of these three stocks, of these penny stocks that I think are massive buys for 2022 and beyond, and that is SDC, Smile Direct Club, $2.52 here today. Is under $1 billion market cap for this company now. It has a 52-week low of $2.45, a 52-week high of over $16 a share. So nonetheless, this one has been devastated. It has not been Smile Direct Club's year. It will be in the future here, okay? So when it comes to Smile Direct Club, they make clear aligners. That's their main product. It's not their only product, but that's their main product. That's how they make up the bulk of their revenues, and that's how they're, you know, that's going to be what continues to drive this business in future years. Now, for their clear aligner business, it's been hurt by many various things recently. I think all those are going away. As far as their clear aligners, if you have, you know, let's just call it what it is. If you have super messed up teeth, Smile Direct Club's not that company for you. But for most folks, they don't have that. They just want straight teeth. They might have teeth that are, you know, a little overlapping or a little crooked and things like that. And so Smile Direct Club is, you know, works for most folks out there, all right? And that's their business. And as far as, like, you know, how much it costs, it's much more affordable than many other treatment options such as Align and things like that. Single pay is $1,950. They have a Smile Pay, which is $89 a month. You do a $250 deposit, then $89 a month for 24 months. So it's a bigger total amount, but you know, obviously Smile Direct Club doesn't take up the upfront money with that particular one. The company spends a lot of money on marketing. In terms of their actual product cost, it's not a big product cost. Their gross profit's pretty darn impressive. It's just they spend a lot on marketing as they continue to build out this brand and get folks to understand their product, their offering, and why it's a heck of a better deal. You see that they've pivoted very recently here to take on Invisalign head up and to make folks understand, like, the advantage of Smile Direct Club versus Invisalign, which I think is a smart strategy at this point in time, because, you know, folks got to understand, you know, the difference in pricing, and you know, Invisalign could make sense in some situations, but most Smile Direct Club actually makes sense, and folks would save a lot more money, okay? They also have built out into many different products. And we're talking electric toothbrushes and, you know, the water flossers and, you know, whitening products and toothpaste. And this is a smart move by Smile Direct Club, okay? Not just from the standpoint of, hey, let's sell more products, let's try to make more revenue from different things, but it's smart from the standpoint of, if you see Smile Direct Club's products, whether it be on Amazon or in a Walmart or a Target or whatever, you know, they're going to try to get into all the different retailers over time. you're much more likely to at least understand what that company is. It's going to be in the back of your mind. You might buy some of its products. You might have a good experience. You're going to likely have a good experience, right? And more than likely, you're going to trust that brand if you ever want to get clear aligners. And so I look at this as not just a revenue driver and a potential net income driver for this company long term, but I really look at it as a branding driver and being top of mind to consumers, which I think is an ingenious plan from this company. So I definitely applaud that. I like that a lot, and I think that's something that will give them a competitive advantage over the long term. And like I said, when it comes to Smile Direct Club, you look at the reviews, and the fact is the high majority of folks love Smile Direct Club's different products. There's, if you ever see like a dentist or whoever, right, or orthodontist or whoever, talk bad about this company, that could be for many various reasons. The fact are the facts, okay? And the fact is the high majority of people love this. Like 90% plus of people love the products and they enjoy it and they have a good experience, all right? And so I think that just needs to be said first and foremost, all right? Now, as far as STC, and by the way, you also have, in a stock like Smile Direct Club, it has a huge short seller, so you'll have people that fake being like a dentist or an orthodontist or something just to trash this company because they're short the stock, and so they want to oh yeah, it's bad, it's like, look at the reviews. The fact is the high majority of people love Smile Direct Club, okay? Now, in terms of current year, and by the way, not everybody's going to love everything from any company. That's just the honest truth. Even Apple, it's crazy to think even Apple doesn't have 100% customer sat. That's something to think about, right? So in terms of STC, losing a ton of money in 21, and this is why the stock is one of the reasons the stock has fallen from $16 to $2, right? The good news is they're expected to lose much less money, and this is what everybody wants to see from a company like Smile Direct Club. They want to see the company lose less money in 22, and it was a great video I watched recently of Peter Lynch, and I think a lot of you guys watched that with me, where Peter Lynch basically says, when a stock goes from, the story around a stock goes from bad to decent, the stock goes up when it goes from decent to good, the stock goes up when it goes from decent to great, or excuse me, from good to great, it goes up, right? And so that's kind of the story with Smile Direct Club. I look at this stock and I say, the story around this company is awful right now because they lost so much money or expect to lose so much money in 21. No one likes to see EPS getting even worse. As it gets better in 22, that will be a really good sign for this company. And as far as 2021, revenues decline. That's just something Wall Street does not like to see, right? And so that's, you can understand why this stock fell so dramatically. Now you can make an argument that's fallen too much to the downside, right? But you can understand why the stock has fallen from 16 to a much lower level. Let's put it that way. When you're going to have record losses and revenue go down, that's bad. But whenever I'm investing in stock, I'm thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, okay? So EPS, I also expect them to make great strides as far as getting EPS back in a healthier place and hopefully to a place of profitability in 2024. They need to cut down massively in 22, cut down massively again in 23, and they could actually end up making profits in 24, which would be massive for this company. And as far as revenue goes, analysts only have them growing 8.9% revenue. I think there'll be a double-digit growth here for this company in 22 between their clear aligner business getting back on the right track, between them launching so many new products that they just haven't had in the past on Amazon and getting into other stores. I think that's a huge opportunity for this company overall. And I think they're spending on marketing more intelligently now. Okay, so yeah, nonetheless, I think this company is going to be in a good place in the future. My 1-year price target for the stock is $5.25. So basically, about a double from here. My 5-year price target on the stock is $25, which would be about a 10x, which would put this company, assuming they don't dilute, which they could raise money at some point in time next year and maybe the year after. But let's assume they don't dilute for a moment. That would put the company at around a $10 billion market cap. And just for some context, that's kind of nothing, okay? Align is at about a $51 billion company market cap. So even if Smile Direct Club was at a $10 billion or $11 billion market cap, that's literally nothing in this space. And I think that's very important to keep in mind. And I think a lot of folks think Smile Direct Club has to beat Align to win. They don't have to beat Align to win. They just have to be a great company that becomes a profit beast over the next 5-10 years, and they'll see their share price rise rapidly, right? And so I think that's very important. And also, lastly, I want to cover this with Align because a lot of people see this as such a beast company nowadays. A lot of folks don't even understand this company went through a tough time after it went public. When it went public, it was like a $7, $8 stock. And the next thing you know, it was $1 a share. And so this is something very important to keep in mind, that Smile Direct Club's going through those same exact growing pains now, all right? Doesn't mean Smile Direct Club's ever going to be a $50 billion market cap or something like that. That would be great. That's not why I'm betting on this stock. I'm betting on it because I believe it can be a $5-10 billion market cap in the future, okay? So that's that penny stock. Yeah, huge revenue company, right? For being, you know, I mean, that was, they should do possibly 700 mil of revenue next year. I mean, for a penny stock, that's, you know, pretty extraordinary. You don't find many penny stocks doing 700 mil of revenue, okay? So that covers the second of these three stocks. Let's get in the third of these three stocks and why I'm really excited about this one. And this one is the cheapest of the bunch, and this one does have the most upside of the bunch. I'm going to make sure I cover that here, and that is Avant Brands, all right? AVTBF. This is another cannabis company, and they compete on the high end of the space. Super small market cap on this one, about a $40 million market cap roughly on this stock. 52-week range anywhere from 7 cents to 87 cents. So yeah, it's been a crazy wild ride for this stock over time nonetheless, okay? But their numbers are no jokers, holy smokers, all right? Avant is a publicly traded company listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange now, all right? They have 3 fully licensed and operational facilities and 1 awaiting licenses. They're well positioned to meet consumer demand across multiple sales channels. Avant's medical brand, Green Tech, is distributed nationwide to qualified patients through its online portal and various licensed partners. Avant's house of brands include Black Market, Tenzo, Cognizant, I guess you can say, Tree Hugger brand as well. And they all really compete on the high end of the space, no pun intended, okay? That's really where they're competing. Their competitive advantage is they're trying to create the most premium experience from everything they do, for their actual product, to the packaging, to the branding, everything across the board is a premium experience. That's what they're going after, okay? And, you know, this company wants to play on the high end. So a lot of companies that are cannabis companies, it's kind of more about volume, right? And they want to push volume, and just, you know, they want to be the, I guess you could say, Budweiser of cannabis. And that's not necessarily a bad strategy. That's perfectly fine. But that's not what this company is going after. They're going after the high-end consumers that can tell the difference between okay product and great product. That's who this company is competing for. They're competing for the people that love the product, right? It's, you know, and for folks that might think, if you're not very educated on these products, you might think, well, it's all the same, right? No, as with everything in life, it's not all the same. And if you really are somebody that enjoys these products, right, you understand, like, this is, you know, you can get, you know, very bad product, very okay product, and great product, right? It's kind of like you could go to Applebee's and get a steak, right? And some people might be perfectly fine with an Applebee's steak, right? Or you can go to Echo and Rig and get a steak. There's different, you know, different quality there. And if you're somebody that eats steak a lot, you're going to be able to tell a huge difference between a steak you're going to get cooked at an Applebee's and a steak you're going to get at Echo and Rick. Just a, you know, flat out honest truth. So I think that's really, really important. As with all things in life, you know, if you're you know, experience a product a lot, you're going to be able to tell the difference between great product, okay product, and bad product. Okay. Now, as far as their packaging, they're always winning different awards, right? First premium rec brand to use glass bottles. They developed and introduced Canada's first legal blunt. They're the first premium rec brand to basically, you know, have profiles and product packaging. And they're just, you know, I think Norton's done a really dang good job of just kind of keeping this company at the forefront of many various, you know, trends that are in the head of this industry, okay? I think he's done a dang good job, which Norton's the CEO of this company. As far as the company, I wish they would have backed it up to further back than this, because you would have seen, like, you know, 2020 and 2021 has been a total turn for this company. As far as their latest quarter, they had record gross sales of 3.1 mil. They did over $1 million of gross margin there. They should do over 8 figures of revenue here this year in 2021, right? And they should further scale in 22. So this is a company that, you know, they just continue to expand, and they should start putting up 3 mil consistently, then 4 mils consistently per quarter, 5 mil consistently, and just continue to build. And the long-term opportunity is obviously crazy when it comes to this particular company. As far as this company, it's a 19-cent stock. 1 year target I have for this is 80 cents, so which is about a 4x from here, right? Which is, yeah, it's definitely my most bullish stock of these 3 stocks for a short-term perspective. And it's honestly my most bullish stock from a long-term perspective. I do think this will still be a penny stock, technically, in 5 years from now. but I think it'll be about $4. And if you can run the numbers on that, it's a fairly decent upside potential there. I think Norton and the team there just got to stay the course, keep running the company the best way they can do. You know, don't worry about the stock price. The stock price is going to move around, do what it's going to do. As long as the fundamentals of this company keep getting better and better over time, that's all investors care about, okay? And that's all I care about in this one, and it's a long-term play, as with all three of these penny stocks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Man, this was a beast, a 30-minute video to put together here. We have a massive, insane course coming, Hubert's Options Masterclass. If you want to get notified as soon as that masterclass drops, check out pinned comment down there. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave this video. If you want to share it out with any friends and family, if you think they're in any of these stocks, feel free to do so. Much love as always, and have a great day.